right. So for this one, I didn't talk much about it. And then we will get started, and I'll introduce my dear peer as well. How are you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
Wonderful.
How is the retreat?
It was amazing.
Yeah, okay, very good.
We just finished today, so.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Leticia. How are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay? Is the music too loud?
No, we could hear you. I could hear you.
Yes.
Is the music coming through? I didn't bring awareness into my page. So there's only you two for this one. So it's very intimate and special. It's the way it's supposed to be. But it's been quite the time since the first one. And for Easter, I didn't do one because it was Easter. And so that's what I want to kind of start from there, because a lot of energy moved. But before I do that, I'd like to introduce a dear friend of mine. Her name is Patricia. She has a dear friend of mine for many years, and she's extremely highly gifted in so many ways. Uh, and her partner have been inviting me to co-facilitate retreats out here in Colorado in the US. We've done one elsewhere as well. And we just finished doing a men's retreat, which was very profound, very, very strong. Each retreat is very different. She gets to bring her feminine essence onto these men, and she's someone that knows me quite well, and she does a lot of her gifts, and her purpose here is guidance in the spiritual realm, as with women and men, just people in general. Her channel is very clean, very pure, and very expansive. And it was very spontaneous. I said, hey, would you want to join on this call? And she was very open to it. So it's a blessing and a gift to have her here today. And what's going to come through, it's going to come through. But I will open up for her, and together we will share with you both. And as this is recorded, we will then share with everybody else what needs to come through.
Mhm. Thank you.
I'm excited. No pressure.
I'm so happy to be here. And as Ali said, it was very unexpected. And we have been really opening our channels today to just serve different people as it's called in. And I'm so excited that there's two beautiful women on this call. And I can already feel your energies. I can already feel what's opening for you as well. It's the courage it's taking you to step forward and coming to these experiences, and especially with someone like Ale as your guide, it's just, I know it's deep. It's very deep. So I'm really honored to be here, and I really appreciate both of you and the many more souls that will see this, your openness and your curiosity. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, before we get started, I'd like to have Patricia share a little bit of whatever she feels like sharing about the way she works and her channel, and perhaps her purpose, whatever comes through for you, just so they can also get to hear from you about yourself a little bit.
Okay, sure. The first thing that I want to share is that as I believe that we have gifts that in our intuition, I believe humanity has this as part of our innate abilities. And so part of my mission being here is to help attune people to their gifts and to trust that. And what we consider supernatural is, in fact, supernatural for us, and it's just forgotten. And I work really well with women because it's about the feminine coming back, the feminine reconnecting with their heart and their softness and their purity. Um, and within my own life as human, I've also been learning how to balance that within myself, this masculine aspect and this feminine aspect. And so my journey started, oh my gosh, since I was a little girl, of being able to tune and connect with energies and really understand how to work with these abilities and how to work with these gifts and to help lead others and learn along the way. And I teach psychic development, intuitive development. I hold a sisterhood, a women's circle, and women's retreats as well. And it's all just helping people come back to presence, to the heart, trusting, courage, like all of the inner workings of the emotional complexities and how we can transform and alchemize these so that we can hold more light on this planet. And I just feel called to share with you both as well that there are different lights that are being anchored in to Earth right now. And so wherever you are in the world, like there is this illumination that's happening. It's super important. It's beyond what you can physically see, but it's this knowing of like have your piece to the puzzle, and so do I, and so does Ale, and like wherever spirit guides us, wherever life takes us, that as we're present within that gift, within that light, it's being like brought in different spaces and places for people to recalibrate their own energetic field. So that's what I would like to share.
Beautiful. And so we're going to open up the channel. And for those of you, both of you were on the first transmission, I believe, that I did. That was an introduction. It was very gentle. It was what was needed in that moment in time for those individuals to receive what was needed. But there's an awareness, there's a highlight on going deeper with this transmission, especially with those two souls, both of you who can receive this. And those of you who are watching outside of this and from the recording as well. I believe that the idea of time is nothing but an illusion, and it transmits in different realms and different forms and expressions of energy. Those who are ready to align themselves in the physical form and attune to the frequency that is being shared through the channel space. And that simply means outside of what is being expressed, what will be expressed, the language that comes through the channel, it's, let's say, coded, if you will, that a word has many meanings. Perhaps with one single word, a book could be written, and activates not just certain parts of the subconscious mind, but it activates on a DNA level, on a cellular level, vibrations within our physical self, with our biological self, that ignites certain memories, understanding, language, light, and expressions of energy that can help us navigate in this time, can help us integrate during this time where there is so much energy being highlighted within the earth. There's a lot of movement of energy. There's a lot of rebirth, a lot of tuning and calibration. And just like the body, we have cells. We too ourselves own this planet. And just like that is also the earth with our solar system, and our solar system with our galaxy, and so on and so forth. And so last weekend, during or the time before that, I suppose, when it was Easter, there was a shift that took place. It was an opening that happened. And the energetic essence of it all is this highlight around an opening of what we talk about as far as the fire horse year fire element that transmutes energy, that transforms energy. And like a fire, when we add wood, it gets brighter and stronger, and it's fed by the wind. So can we take this moment of the celebration of Easter as something to celebrate around Christ, for example, of his the resurrection. There's a resurrection energy that was present there within the collective, within our planet. For that event was not just an event that took place in the physical, but it represented a shift, and it represented a much larger prophecy and also pillar during that time that has never stopped. And like the seasons, there's the calendar season of the universe, which is much more expansive than the seasons we experience on this planet. As we step into also the season of spring, coming out from the winter, the flourishing, the seeds that were on the ground, the pressure of being on the ground, and breaking from that cocoon, so to say, seeking the light for expression of energy and of life, is also a representation of the resurrection within everything that is being rebirthed and the transformation. And that also pertains to us as well, as human beings. And so you may have felt since that time a plethora of strong experiences within yourself, very intense, like a fire. And the motion, the driving forward of the horse, which represents movement. A horse is a beautiful animal that moves very quickly. It has a presence. It's very connected. Its magnetic field is very expansive. And so are we expanding our magnetic fields during this time to feel more the intensity of what's needed to be transmuted, what is being transmuted, and the importance of the momentum forward. Time becoming much more intense. Time becoming much more expedited, if you will. And so I myself experienced these strong energies. Excuse me. And the roller coaster, one can say, of that which took place, of the transformation. And so within that, many things have come forward. The importance of people feeling what were whispers now so loud, so intense, that can no longer be dismissed. Of course, we have free will. We always will. Nevertheless, for some souls, especially those of you who are present now, there's an activation, there's a call that is far beyond the conscious awareness of oneself, that is asking to be acknowledged, is asking for the presence and attuning of the new way to experience reality. It cannot be explained or understood with the mind, and therefore the invitation to connect with other ways in which we experience life as human beings is present as well. The invitation to connect to the soul, the idea of the soul, that which is the form of energy that takes the experience into the physical body, becoming more present into the conscious mind of the human experience. And the soul does not live in the 3D. It experiences the 3D through the body. The soul is quantum. Quantum meaning that it lives, or it has access to, all realms, all reality through space and time. So the integration of the soul can feel overwhelming to the conscious mind if it's not properly attuned into the body. And so much of what has happened from the time of Easter is this transformation. It's not shedding, it's transformation. It is a calling that doesn't come with instructions, doesn't come with logic of explanation. But the invitation is to go deeper within what is being shown, to trust outside of the belief systems that have been ingrained in the conscious mind. It challenges what we believe is possible. It challenges what we think we know is best for us, and to trust into what we may not understand, but is being felt, is being shown through dreams, through visions, through different subtle nudges, perhaps in numbers, perhaps through animals, and different synchronicities of events, of people. And it's loud. It's not gentle. Not because it's trying to cause any sort of negative experience, but it's because we must attune ourselves to the new way of living. And as we also were in the time of Aries, and the alignment of the planetary within that Aries time, and the moon that just passed on as well, that transitional moment, or that moment from Easter to now, has been very strong in aligning ourselves to the life that the soul is here to experience. Changing how we eat, changing where we live, how we interact with technology, how we interact with energy, with others, and most importantly, how we interact with our inner dialogue, with our conscious mind and our subconscious mind, is the emphasis of it all. The ability to surrender. Because when we go against the current of the cosmic current, we are fighting against it. We are engaging against it. And it can only amplify and intensify that experience instead of letting go and flowing with that flow. And so things have been coming up for people, triggers, lack of patience, frustration, then having moments of pure bliss, perhaps, and alignment, clarity. And in those moments that you can reflect during that time, it's important to reflect upon those moments, because that is when we allowed ourselves to be a part of that current instead of the resistance. The resistance is just the fear of the ego that is challenging a different system, a different frequency onto your conscious land. And so a lot of awareness has been present during this time, and it's required for us to, as we are entering a space of a break, it's really integration and a time to reflect, to not just move on, because the stillness that is found on this earth, it is necessary, and it is a teacher and a reminder of the stillness that is necessary within ourselves. To understand the purpose of a storm, to understand the purpose of flow and the intensities of energy, so that we can learn to work with it. And this is the time that we are nowing. Is the time to breathe, ground. Go to nature as everything is flourishing. Birds are chirping, flowers are blossoming, coming out, butterflies are coming, bunnies are present, and everything is there. And life is expressing itself in this way. And that is the flow that we're in this moment. And so I want to pause here for a moment and invite us to take a deep breath. Just breathing in from the nose and breathing out of the mouth. 2 more breaths. And on the last breath, on the exhale, just relaxing your shoulders. That breath that you just took is the breath for you to connect with in moments where it feels like it's too much. Because that breath is the Alpha and the Omega. It is the beginning and the end, although there is no beginning and end. But rather the beginning of when we came into the physical form and we came out of our mother's womb, when we took that first. And the Omega of the breathing out when we transition out of this body. And in between, every emotion has a breath. When we laugh, we breathe a certain way. When we cry, we breathe a certain way. Everything has that's emotional. We breathe a certain way. So that is connected to not only just life force or prana ana, but also to our nervous system. And so we tell our nervous system through the breath that we are safe, but it's okay to feel the energy that's present, to calm the body so the mind can follow. And then we can tune in to what's there for us and flow with that field of energy. Instead of being from a place of reactive and unbalanced, distorted nervous system. You might be feeling a lot of energy in this moment, and that's okay. Just know that this is a grounded space anchored into the diamond of the earth. At its core, there is a diamond that when we anchor our energy to it, it transmutes anything and all things into different colors, much like when a diamond hits the light. And it moves up onto our root chakra, to the sacral, to the solar, to the heart, throat, third eye, and crown. And from the crown, it opens and connects onto the universe, onto the bliss of all that is, while anchored within the diamond of the earth, so that we can crystallize and alchemize whatever comes through that frequency, that channel. You don't need to understand what's being felt, what's being experienced. Just know that you are anchored in it. And so I'll hand it over to my dear sister now for her to share a little bit more based on what I shared.
I'm going to invite you to actually take a deep breath and close your eyes. Soften. Sit up as much as you can, just elongating the spine. And then bringing awareness to your heart. And breathing into the heart space. And out. So there's messages coming through specifically for the two of you, but for others that will connect with this at a later time. It's that awareness of how we are responding to our emotional field and how we're responding within our bodies. This awareness of the mind body spirit complex, this connection that makes you a very unique being that you can manifest in physical reality. And also as a human, that your emotions are the signals that are coming through the system to just bring awareness, to just bring information. And especially as women, how we may navigate those emotions that may be just a little bit different from how the male counterpart is designed. Doesn't make either right or wrong, it's just different. Especially within the feminine, that conscious awareness of what that really means. How that feels when you allow yourself to soften and trust and express your emotions. When the feminine suppresses her emotions, she becomes cold and numb and tired. There's many transformations and transitions happening. A lot of chaos that you can see in the collective field. A lot of fear that is coming up. A lot of transition. Just awareness of how you're holding peace within yourself. And when you feel like you're off calibration, that you take a deep breath and come back to that inner light. Many of you are trying to make sense of your gifts, what's to come, what's happening. There's a lot of awakenings that are occurring. And as much as you feel like you are seeking information and understanding and intellect, there's always this knowing that resides within your heart. So especially for this week, giving yourself just a little bit more grace and compassion for what's moving within you, what emotional signals are coming through for you, and how you're choosing in to your life, you're choosing into your role, choosing into your response every moment, releasing judgment of yourself and judgment of others, an expectation of how things should, could, or would feel or be or exist. Just allowing, coming back into the feminine heart, breathing life into her. There's so much that's being activated within that. Allowing yourself, creating that invitation, that permission slip to just relax, to let go, to stop holding everything. Stop trying to understand the chaos and the fear. Just allow. Because within you know everything returns back to the light.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yes, there's a lot that could be said. There's a lot of information, as Patricia stated, that's coming through, that's in the channel. And part of what we do while we work differently and we translate what is present is being able to see and receive it and allow what needs to come through to come through. And much of this is also within what she expressed. You know, it's like there's no rush. There's no rush to try to understand everything. There's no need to try to understand everything for that matter. But we are entering in an era where we have to be open to engage differently with the way we operate with our thoughts, with our reality. The importance and the highlight around being grounded, especially onto this planet, onto the earth, is very loud. And as you both know, I live in Hawaii, I live in Colorado, but nature here, and we have chosen to live here. She's chosen to live here, I've chosen to live in Hawaii, because that is the alignment for us to be in nature and the importance of that. And so that's also coming very strongly for both of you, to ground. Always ground. And when at any point you're feeling like it's too much, you're feeling like you're spinning out, go to nature. Even if that means going to your backyard or to a nearby park. And put your feet on the ground, especially now that we're entering spring and summer. Because it will help you. We have to remember, or rather we are in the era also of remembering what it means to be a human being, as I said on my last call. It's simple. Within all these symbols and energies and all these ways, right, that we can, there's so much that's out right now, emphasis around mysticism and magic and portals and all of this stuff. Some of it is distraction, actually. Some of it is actually distorted. It's not grounded. It's all over the place. And it's not a judgment, it's just an observation. But the basics, it's where one can truly understand from the connection within the earth, the harmony that already exists outside of man creation. And when we tune into the harmony that already exists, we're able to perceive whatever is present from that state of harmony, rather than from the mind. So there's a very big emphasis on the distortion, and it's part of the process that we're in. The chaos. And not hooking ourselves to it. To learn to be the observer. Rooted like a tree. Deeply rooted onto the earth. And like a tree, it receives the light from the sun, which comes from outside of the earth. The tree is connected to the earth and to the cosmos. And so we can look at nature and open ourselves to be a tree. We're deeply rooted so that we can receive whatever light frequency is coming from the universe and be able to receive that from that grounded space, from that rooted space. But if we're not, then it's confusing and trying to engage the mind, and we're trying to figure it out, and the symbols and all these things. But that is, we're done experiencing that. We've outgrown that experience as humans. That era is ending. You can choose to stay in it, or you can choose to explore this other way. And much of it is actually a remembrance. It's not something to figure out. It's an allowing. Any questions, can pause here for a moment. Any questions you have?
Questions? No. If you allow me, Alejandro, say to Patricia, you are very beautiful too. Not only outside, inside. I see your energy. It's very pure. Yeah. I don't have a question, but I have a comment, if I can say, Alejandro. 1 week before, I was thinking and simulating, because I'm very mental. But now I'm very with the fluids. Okay, before this whole chaos here in Earth, I feel like an alien, like a salmon that is only fighting against the river. But then I explode like a volcano. You saw it. A lot of information, a lot of knowing, emotion, everything. And now there is the chaos in the heart, but I'm very in plenitude. It's completely the opposite. Why I feel now this, I think the spiritual path is not only in one way. Each person is an individual. Like in medicine, we treat and we evolve in different ways. And if we know each other and we know our intuition and how soul is saying, perhaps in my opinion, in my way, I need to connect the body, the soul, and the mind. I cannot let go the mind because there is a lot of knowledge that I need to embrace with my soul and my intuition. So, sorry, Alejandro, but it was my way. And it was very interesting. And I feel now very clarity. I know that there is in front the new days a lot of chaos, a lot of anxiety. It's not easy for anyone, and I hope you are doing a very good job, Alejandro. I didn't see you now, but it's okay. I only see you. What is your name?
Patricia?
No, not Patricia, the other girl.
Leticia.
Leticia. Hi, Leticia. I was seeing you. Not Alejandro, Patricia. And I think you made a very good work with me because you opened the, how you say, the gates. And now a lot of things make sense. Now I'm not in fighting here in the earth. Now I understand. And you are doing a great job, like Patricia and a lot of us. And we need to collaborate because each person has a different point of view, different skills, different intuition, and we need all to connect because it's not going to be easy for her and a lot of humans. But now I'm very peaceful. Thank you, Alejandro.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing and for your vulnerability. Yeah, lots there, and I understand, the mind and um, it's the goal should never be to dismiss a way of the human experience. It's more around the idea of a more balanced way to experience outside of only the mind, right? The goal should never be, because it's not a reality. It's not tangible. It's not doesn't make any sense to release the mind, but rather it's to understand the mind outside of logic, and most importantly, from as you're a doctor, right? It's the redirection of neural paths onto the subconscious mind, right? That happens within the focus and the awareness in the conscious mind, and working with that awareness in a way that's outside of what we would call science, which is very practical or logic, because that's limited. Okay.
But that's the key. we are in the earth. We are in material. So our job, I think, is to connect to the soul, the intuition, and have this heart job to integrate in the material, and vice versa. I don't know. It's my opinion. Because we live here.
Yes, again, it's not. I agree with you, and I think what I'm trying to express is that it's not to take away from science. It's not to take away from the conscious mind. It's a deeper layer of intelligence that cannot be understood through science, cannot be understood through the conscious mind until it's integrated. The conscious mind integrates with the subconscious, which is not just on a biological.
Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
While also it's what we would call like the spiritual idea, the spiritual language is just empathetic. It's expansive. That's the idea of the soul. The connection to the soul, biologically speaking, is in the subconscious mind. Okay. And so the era that we're in currently, as you expressed, there are many ways to do this, absolutely. And so like all these different practices throughout time, like, such as Tibetan Buddhism, Hinduism, India, you have yoga, you have breath meditation, you have Egyptian technology, you have Mayan from Central and South America, indigenous, all of these different ways perceive consciousness, and it all leads to the same path, which is connection within oneself.
Yes.
Now, and so the mind wants to justify that there is a right way. The mind wants to justify that there is a linear way to that. However, it is my strong belief that it's just a matter of having different options, different avenues on how to get there based on the level or the frequency of the soul. Because as we are humans, there are souls that are from, let's just say, different experiences outside Earth that have experience. So we come here as souls, and some of us have certain codes, frequencies that we can, once we align with the human experience, we connect, right? Because that's, right, we are here to experience that. Then we're able to, let's say, download, we're able to bring into the human body the codes or the frequencies that we can contribute to, and how everything is connected. Yes, we are important, every single one of us, and plays a very specific role. But
I agree with you.
but we are humans. So yeah, so there's nothing more human than to connect with our earth. So it starts there, right? Science is man-made. That's a fact. And so while there are codes and things that have been coming in, it has a purpose. It has a frequency. It's a bridge.
For me, science is nature.
So yes, it's a way to, well, what do you mean by that?
Because we don't discover anything. We don't make anything. Everything is already there if we look at nature. So science is not made by man. Science we discover in nature and copy nature. Already there.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Let me ask you a question.
Okay. I like questions.
Let's go a little deeper here. Within the idea that you say express the science is nature, this created, and what I'm hearing is the exploration of nature from the human experience to be understood through the mind, right?
To be understood through the mind, not only the mind.
But the mind, the mind decides the experience of the body. It's responsible for sensations, for the vision, for speaking, right? And so within that idea, on a very human level and a very conscious level, that's psychologically speaking as well, we perceive life through the mind. So that's one fact. What I'm talking about is within that pillar of reality, there's something that isn't expressed or there's no measuring sense or logic within the idea of the mind, conscious mind of science, that is also a pillar of being a human being, that can be experienced only in a way of connecting into the universe, frequencies within, and also within our earth. Like we must, for example, say we look at a tree, we must release the idea that's a tree, because when we look at a tree, we name it for what we have named it. There's a definition that comes with that. There's a program. There's like, a tree is this, Scientific does this, there's energy, it blooms, it provides oxygen, da 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 da. All to be true. However, if we look at a tree and we release from our mind the identification of that item, that expression of energy being a tree, and we release everything that we think we know, and
we feel energy, we feel a living body.
and we're able to open ourselves to connect and allow whatever that connection, that experience to be, without trying to identify it, without trying to make sense of it, without trying to name it or anything, but just experience it for what it is. That is a different form of experiencing life as a human being as well, which it's only available if we allow ourselves, if we shift, right, the reality of what we think we know. Because science is based on facts, proof, and you
I agree.
mess.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but I didn't understand the question.
And so I'm getting there.
Okay. Sorry, you know me. I just like this. I'm very spontaneous. Sorry.
No, don't apologize, but I will deliver this to you. This is why you are.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, but let me say this to you. You are in your mind right now. You're not grounded. You understand? So I need you to ground, so then you can receive the answers you're seeking, because you're seeking answers right now as a scientist, let's say. I'm inviting you to open yourself to receive something beyond the conscious mind. But you are not going to be able to receive it if you're trying to understand things. That is my invitation. That is why I open the space about, and we breathe together, right? To connect to the heart, to ground. This is exactly happening live, exactly what I'm talking about. Because when we are grounded, we slow down our breathing, we slow down the mind, we release and trying to understand. It's like I just expressed, it opens the opportunity to receive something different. Okay?
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I'm gonna, I'll shift it to Patricia so she can share from her side
Okay.
a little bit, if that's okay.
Yes, of course. I just want to commend you for having the courage to engage in this way. And I also see the development that's happening within you. And I also just bow in reverence to the science that you have studied and the schooling and all of these things that you have really devoted yourself to and the practicality of it, right? And I personally feel that people that move into the medical field, like their soul is of service, of healing, of like harmonizing and helping humans, because this experience can be really, really heavy and dense, and disease and so many things are attacking our biochemistry consistently. And so I recognize that for you.
Thank you.
Also, as you are stepping into these spaces, there's so much that's starting to expand for you. And it's asking for you to let go of the safety that you've created around the science, the math, the testing, I know as doctors, it's like a diagnosis of, okay, based on these things, this is what's happening within your body. This is how we're going to help you heal. These are maybe even medications you take, or this, that, and the third, right? But within your soul, there's so much expanding. And I think what Ale is trying to reflect to you is that science, in my opinion, does have certain parameters and rules and regulations. If this, then this. Energy operates this way. If the body is doing these with these symptoms, it means X, Y, and Z. And those are very practical logic. But even in science, I'm seeing science starting to evolve, where we're starting to connect exactly what you're saying, sister, like nature, like is starting to mirror the truth of nature. Do you feel like you're going to be a leader in that, especially as a woman? Like how powerful that calling is. That it's not just holding on to like, okay, the textbooks have said this and blah blah, but it's like so much more awareness. And you're seeing more on the planet these different even healing modalities that is like not turning to prescriptions or medications or what it's understanding what we're talking about, the mind, body, spirit, the emotions, the connection, the experiences as a human. And so
Yes.
go ahead.
I sorry, I understand you perfectly. Before I didn't like it, the system and the protocols and the pills and everything. I was very rebellious in the beginning. Now I'm combining the intuition and before the medicine and the science. Before a patient sits in the chair to observe, I already captured his energy, emotion, and everything. Then I treat the body, but then first I realize the energy and the mind of the person. And then the other. In the beginning, my patients felt what I'm doing here, but I think he's a doctor and treats this and everything. And I don't sit in the chair of the dentist. I sit in a desk with me. We are talking first. I observe the position of the body, how is the energy and everything. And when I combine this intuition, medical intuition, the energy, the soul of the person, and of course with the background of the medicine, makes sense for me. That's why I'm doing now. Completely different of the system. I don't like protocols. I don't like pills because they treat symptoms, not causes. And most of the causes are a disrupt of the energy. They are not aligning with the soul, and so on and so on. And the body of the human is the most incredible machine. And it was crazy. God made a so crazy machine that I need to study and put emotions and everything there. But it's amazing. And when we connect all these things, sometimes I say, Ollie, okay, you come next weekend, but first you go to the beach. We have a lot of beaches in Portugal. So you go to the beach, you go to the sun, you go walking, and then you come back again, and then I treat. So I understand you perfectly. But I was not just from the beginning this. I was fighting my rational part and my intuition and was fighting. And now when, okay, I release and I put the intuition, medical intuition, now I see the whole system of the body. And I have a machine with to detect energy and everything. So I'm not very conventional dogmatic about that.
Well, thank you for sharing, and again, thank you for your ability, and thank you for to us, and also for being open-minded and for listening. I do want to, as we're getting closer to the time here, I really want to give Leticia an opportunity in case she wanted to express something. I don't know
I don't know how to follow. Okay, well, I'll just speak on, I guess, from my perspective, along with like that whole topic. But I feel like I also need science in place. Science gives me structure. I feel it's very masculine. But I also have this deeply intuitive side as well. It's very like very, very spiritual. Sorry. So like I hear what you're saying, and I'm a medicine woman, so like I love studying the body. It fascinates me. I love studying, like I'm an herbalist. I love like everything somatic. I love the way, like, I love using herbs that support me on a physical level, but then how it reflects in the energetic realms too. Like it just gives me structure. But I hear obviously the other perspectives, like I don't go full science because then I'm like, it's too rigid and it's very, how do you say, like, and yeah, it's like you can't access these beautiful, deeper perspectives, and mostly you can't feel when it's too masculine or too mental, right? So like everything you all were saying, I'm like, yeah, you just like summed up my whole journey in the last 10 years. Like too much structure means I can't open and feel nature and spirit and God's love. And then when you go too spiritual, now we have no structure, what Ali was talking about, where it's just all crazy like portals. And so it's like we need the masculine and the feminine energetic, the logic and the soul, right? And so like, yeah, I loved how you all just went into a circle, and I'm just sitting here like, wow, thank you guys. Like, that was really beautiful. So yeah.
So yes, it's complex, but it doesn't have to be, right? And I think that's what overall, like, I'm not saying the science is bad or that or this or that. I agree with you. As I emphasized earlier, there's this emphasis on balance, right? Everything has a place, but if you drink too much water, you will die. It's a fact, right? But water is important in the body, it's life. And so too much of anything, even that is good for you, can become harmful. And so absolutely I agree with you. And that is literally what, the emphasis is here. It's to show us the new way, because there's multiple science outside the science that we were speaking on now. There are many sciences, there's many technologies, right? However, no matter whatever science we're speaking about, it really requires the emphasis, and the importance is that grounding, which allows the idea of exploring balance within oneself. So then there could be form of a structure that we can alchemize the new way of what is happening outside our conscious self, that is much larger than the perception of how we perceive as humans in the modern world, right? Life and a lot of things from ancient traditions and civilizations. You as well, Patricia, as a medicine woman, I spent many years studying with medicine, different types of medicine across different ways, and it has a purpose. Absolutely, there's a technology, there's a science within plant medicine, right? There's a science within music, vibration, sound bowls. There's a science within colors. There's a science, and it goes on and on and on and on. This particular human science is the one that, again, like Patricia said, we're integrating, we're expanding that, right? And it's inviting, even that science is like, oh man, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that was dismissed by science because there's not proof. And now, because of much more conscious individuals who are going into the science field, they're saying, wait a minute, what people were talking about woo-woo stuff, like spiritual stuff, actually, like, there's truth to this, and we have the technology to measure that. Like, for example, when someone walks into a room and they leave, now we can measure that they leave behind, they change the frequency of the environment. The atoms react differently, and that affects everything around it. We now know this through science. I study quantum physics in my own ways. I study a little bit of quantum mechanics as well, right? The understanding of the matter, the material of the cosmos and of energy. Not because of, oh, I want to engage in science, so that I can speak this language to people that live in that world and expand in upon that deeper, right? Because at the end of the day, science is just language, in my opinion. It's just a form of perceiving energy in one way. So we are entering an era where we're expanding. You know, we talk about Lemurian, Atlanteans, Egyptian, the Mayans, all these civilizations that I spoke about that were advanced, that had these technologies that we can't figure out with everything we have today. That's for a reason. And that is what I'm calling here, is with courage, with humility, but with confidence, that there is a higher consciousness present here. And we can stick to the very technological human way of living, experiencing life. As Dolores Cannon said, that's going to be one world. And there's going to be this other world within our world of humans who are going to be experiencing super advanced technologies in a different way. That will not, as advanced as these other humans in the technological world, will not be able to understand completely this experience of humanity. And is connected to nothing that we have to create. It already exists. Okay? So lastly, I'll just say this. In this moment, right, all the dimensions are present. All of them. Everything is in this moment, but we are perceiving only this
dimension.
But if I told you I'm not just here, I'm in many places, you would be like, what?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, I get it.
But science is like,
there is no time or space.
No, yeah, I agree. I've seen Soul. I guess.
No, there is no present or past or future. There is different frequencies, energies in different layers of the universe.
Yeah, and we're safe. Like, I think that's a big thing, is that with people needing science, it's like the more science we need is really, we're saying like, I need safety. Like, this is freaking me out, right? Like, it's moving too fast. Like, that's my opinion. Like, when I'm like, wait, more science, like, chill, I'm really saying, yo, like, slow down. Like, my brain, right? Like, yeah. So just more safety. More
Yes.
safety. We're okay.
Yeah.
and this is why I talk about simplicity of just that, of just breathing.
Alejandro, one curiosity.
I'm sorry.
One curiosity. You notice that two persons is here with you in a spiritual way, and conscious and developing the self is the two doctors and two saints. Did you notice? It's not why.
Absolutely. It's everything is perfect the way it is, and there's teaching for all of us, right?
Yes.
I always come with that humility, right? But I also speak my truth, because as I'm hosting this space, it's just to help channel. Like I said, I'm channeling outside of mind, outside of my own personal perspectives, right? And I have to navigate the emotions, the energy that's present here, and I do so by staying grounded, right? And navigating what is here. And throughout the years of over 10 years of however long it's been, so I've been on this journey. I'm always a student, right? Nevertheless, like, there's an importance of the navigation of so much. As Patricia said, like, there's too much information, and people are constantly seeking, constantly consuming, and there's a lack of integration, a lack of balance. Slowing down when we speak, taking a break to listen, taking a break to breathe, taking a moment to be like, okay, give the nervous system an opportunity to relax. This is the basics that I'm speaking here on many levels and many ways, but it starts there. And so, with that, we are a little bit over time, and I apologize, and I thank you for everything you both have shared. Thanking as well my dear friend, and being present, share a little bit of her wisdom and energy with all of us here. And I hope that you take some time after this to just breathe and just feel and reflect, because what took place here is very much of what is present and what has been present. You know, don't zoom in up here. Okay? I think they get it. So zoom out. Thank you. And I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to come on here and to listen and to share, and for all of us to come into that there's no one right, no one is wrong. It's just a beautiful way to come together in balance and harmony. And let's practice that more than anything else, especially now. Anyone?
I just want to say thank you, sisters, for connecting with us. Thank you, Ale, for allowing me to be here so humbly and experience this. This is amazing. And I just know even what's being shared in our expressions and your expressions as well, like there's so much that's opening right now. And there was a moment even on this call that was like really, really high energy and a recognition between the two of you and then us, and just this really beautiful ecosystem that we get to connect into. And so thank you for your wisdom and for following your paths as well, and being open to engage again with this wisdom, with this information. And again, not from a logic standpoint, but so much depth that we opened and navigated. So I'm really, really grateful. I have hope for humanity.
Yes. So thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for hosting these, by the way. I wanted to say that because this is so fun. Like, yeah, like your Instagram, by the way, is just like always right on time for like what I need to hear. So I wanted to say that to you, reflect that back to you. Like your timing is just like exactly what I need to hear. So I love the stuff you say and like the energies that you're putting out into the universe. So I wanted to share that too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That means a lot, you know, and it's not something I decide on. It's like I'm just out in nature, you know, and it's just like, okay, it's time for you to open up the camera, and I open the camera and I have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm not sitting there like in deep philosophy, and no, I'm just there, and all of a sudden, tick tick, the camera comes on, and then just the channel opens, and what comes through needs to come through, and that's it. And so that's what I'm wanting to also in these spaces, to help people connect to that channel, because we all have a channel. The idea of a channel is this connection that I'm speaking on here. And so thank you for saying that. You know, it's something that I choose to answer the call.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's done this thing. Like I've DM'd you about that. Like I was just having a conversation, the exact words I said, and like I get on Insta and I'm like, I'm supposed to watch this, and then it's the exact words, the validation. I'm just like, who is he talking to? Like, yeah. So yeah, thank you. I'm like, how does he know? Like, someone just said this to me. That's crazy. So yeah, I just wanted to say, like, your channel is impeccable. Like, your timing and your channel, like, yeah, keep doing you. That's fabulous. I love it.
Thank you. And thank you so much for your support. It means a lot for me as well. And your presence here also, it has meaning. And so thank you for sharing your light as well, and for being able to receive, you know, we're all part of here to help each other, see each other, mirrors and light holders. So
Alejandro, I would like to say I admire your courage, because you said you spontaneous talk, and this is the most courage thing to do it. So I'm not so courage like you.
you are though.
No. But
Yeah, you are.
but it was amazing when you speak, and it's from inside. So you are completely exposed. Your journey, your fights, your understanding, your learning. So your journey you are sharing, and it's why I'm here now listening you. And it's very courage. And Patricia, you are very old soul, very beautiful.
I see you both as well.
Thank you both. Thank you, Alejandro.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed and beautiful weekend, and have an even more amazing week tomorrow. And I'll be back in Hawaii on the 22nd, 23rd, and I'll be pushing out more information, more beautiful things as I'm guided to do. But I hope to see you on the next one as well. And until then, breathe, ground, connect with your heart, and know you are loved.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.